Need tools? We've got you covered. Go to ChromebookParts.com or click on the link below to pick up this sleek, portable toolkit. Flip the device over and remove 6 3.5mm screws and 2 4mm screws from the bottom cover. There are 2 clips that hold the bottom cover in place. Grab the top of the bottom cover and gently pull back to pop the clips free. Remove 2 1mm screws from the battery cable bracket. Remove the bracket and use a plastic spudger to gently lift up and unplug the battery from the motherboard. Remove 2 1mm screws from the charging port cable bracket. Remove 1 1mm screw from the antenna cable bracket. Flip open the locking clip and unplug the webcam cable from the motherboard. Gently lift up to unplug the charging ports cable from the motherboard. Gently lift up to unplug the audio board cable and the speaker cable from the motherboard. Gently lift up to unplug the antenna cables from the motherboard. Unplug the other speaker cable from the motherboard. Flip open the locking clip and unplug the LCD cable from the motherboard. Peel back the covering, flip open the locking clip, and unplug the keyboard cable from the motherboard. Flip open the locking clip and unplug the microphone cable from the motherboard. Flip open the locking clip and unplug the trackpad cable from the motherboard. Remove 5 2mm screws from the motherboard. Replace the motherboard, and be sure to get all the cables out from underneath. Replace the 5 2mm screws back into the motherboard. Plug the speaker cable back into the motherboard. Plug the LCD cable back into the motherboard and reseat its cable back into the foam groove. Plug the keyboard cable back into the motherboard. Plug the microphone cable back into the motherboard. Plug the trackpad cable back into the motherboard. Gently push down to plug the antenna cables back into the motherboard. Plug the webcam cable back into the motherboard. Plug the charging port cable back into the motherboard. Plug the audioboard cable back into the motherboard. And finally, plug the other speaker cable back into the motherboard. Replace the antenna cable bracket, and replace the one 1mm screw. Replace the charging port cable bracket, and replace the two 1mm screws. Plug the battery back into the motherboard. Replace the bracket, and replace the two 1mm screws. Replace the bottom cover, and push down on the sides to snap the clips back into place. Replace the 6 3.5mm screws and two 4mm screws back into the bottom cover.